Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I was going through X and I found this post, really funny post, trying to discredit Islam and trying to demonize Islam, trying to give credits that belong to Caesar to Paul. Subhanallah. If you know little about history, you would understand that this guy is literally taking what belongs to Caesar and then giving it to Paul. Before that, it's funny how the algorithm of X works. When it comes to demonizing Islam, it really goes viral. When it comes to crediting Christianity and Judaism, then you'd see it is something that really goes viral, especially if it is connected to discrediting Islam. For example, this is Christianity and Islam. Ordinarily, Christianity wouldn't go viral, but when it comes to it being connected to Islam, then it goes viral. For example, look at this 3 consecutive posts from this guy. The first is Islam, ISIS is Islam, Taliban is Islam, Hezbollah is Islam. This post had over 240,000 views. And then the next one is, I just saw a lady with the username Sikh Feminist. This lady turns out to be a Sikh. So this guy is trying to mock the religion Sikh, but look at the number of views. It is just 9,000 views. And then finally, Kashmir belongs to India, Jerusalem belongs to Israel. This is somehow connected to Islam because Muslims are the occupants of these places, Kashmir and of course Jerusalem. And look at the amount of views. This has over 414,000 views. So the way the algorithm works is always trying to make Islam look really bad and demonize Islam before the people. So this post had over 20 million views. Sit down for a second and imagine this. Imagine 20 million people standing before you. So 20 million views on this post and over 162,000 likes. Can you imagine how far this has gone? But inshallah, I'll be refuting this. And another funny thing is this guy portrays himself as a Christian from the West and also a supporter of Zionism. But unfortunately for him, he is a Hindu person. And these guys are too dumb not to expose themselves. Hindu are known to expose themselves by themselves. For example, look at this post where this guy said, Hindus are not alone. 2 billion Christians stand with Hindus. We know Christians don't support Hindus, but then he is saying, pretending to be a Christian, that Christians support Hindus. Look at what his friend, a fellow Hindu, said. Haha, no Christians will ever support Hindus over Muslims. Get that delusion out of your brain. This guy is saying, get that delusional mentality out of your brain. No Christians would support Hindus over Muslims. And he continued, the only Christians that support Hindus are Vladimir Putin, Georgia, and Donald Trump, despite the fact that Hindus protected them from Islam for centuries when their crusades failed and they ran. So, and if you doubt this guy who is a Hindu telling his fellow Hindu brother that Christians can't support Hindus over Islam, look at this comment from a Christian, no, we don't, and then the F word, and this is another. Make that 2 billion minus 1. In other words, minus me from that 2 billion Christians that you think support Hindus. And of course, we know Christians don't support Hindu. This is why this one said, oh, no, we don't. Hinduism is satanic. Subhanallah. So these aside, all this aside, these are not the crux of the matter. The crux of the matter is taking what belongs to Caesar and then giving it to Paul. So let's go back in time and see why Muslims are to take the credit. We have a lot of Muslims who have contributed to science, geography, mathematics, medicine, and other fields of life. But we're going to be taking just a few of them, totaling 15. And the first on the list is Al-Khwarizmi, 780 to 850 Christ era. This is over 1,000 years ago. Field, mathematics, and astronomy. Contribution, known as the father of algebra. His book Al-Kitab al-Mukhtasir fil Hisab al-Jabir wal-Muqabala laid the foundation for algebra. His name is the root of the word algorithm. Even if you are ignorant, you must have heard the word algorithm, but I doubt that will be the case for a Hindu. These guys are always dumb. Secondly, we have Ibn al-Haytham, 965 to 1040 Christ era. Field, optics, physics, and mathematics. Contributions, wrote Kitab al-Munazir, the book of optics, developed theories of vision and light, laid the foundation for modern scientific method. Subhanallah, imagine someone that lived over 1,000 years laying the foundation of scientific method. Subhanallah, this is beyond me. Thirdly, we have Ar-Razi, 854 to 925 Christ era. Field medicine and chemistry. Contribution produced the Kitab al-Hawi, the comprehensive book, a massive medical encyclopedia distinguished between smallpox and measles. Subhanallah, these are people that lived over 1,000 years ago. The fourth year we have Ibn Sina, 980 to 1037 Christ era. Field medicine, philosophy and science. Contribution, his canon of medicine, Al-Qanun fil Tibb, was a standard medical text in Europe and the Islamic world for centuries. Subhanallah. Do you know what a century is? This is 100 years, but this is saying centuries. Subhanallah. Europeans and the Muslim world benefited from the works of this man, Ibn Sina. The fifth year we have Al-Biruni, 973 to 1050 Christ era. Field astronomy, mathematics and geography. Contribution, measured the earth radius with remarkable accuracy. Subhanallah, this is just beyond me. Remarkable accuracy. And this is over 1,000 years ago. Where did this guy get his instrument to make this measurement? It continued. He also wrote about the rotation of the earth and developed techniques in geodesy. Subhanallah. The sixth year we have Umar Khayyam, 1048 to 1131 Christ era. Field mathematics, astronomy, poetry. Contribution, refined the calculation of the length of the year. His calendar was more accurate than the Julian calendar. Contributed to cubic equations solutions. Subhanallah. The seventh year we have Al-Zahrawi, 936 to 1013 Christ era. Field surgery and medicine. Contribution, wrote Al-Tasrif, a 30-volume medical encyclopedia including detailed instructions of surgical instruments and techniques. Subhanallah. These people are Muslims and this is what they've contributed to science thanks to Islam. The 8th year we have Al-Tusi, 1201 to 1274 Christ era. Field astronomy and mathematics. Contribution, developed the Tusi couple, a mathematical model that influenced Copernicus. Contributed to trigonometry as a separate discipline. Subhanallah. 9th we have Jabir ibn Hayyan, 721 to 815 Christ era. Field chemistry and alchemy. Contribution, regarded as the father of chemistry. Take a moment so that these can sink. Subhanallah. I know Hindus understand nothing, but as someone that is rational, take a moment and let this sink. It continued, introduced experimental methodology and wrote extensively on distillation, crystallization and other chemical processes. No wonder he is called the father of chemistry. The 10th year we have Ibn Khaldun, 1332 to 1406. Field sociology, economics and history. Contribution, authored the Muqaddimah, introduction, considered a foundational text in sociology, historiography and economics. Subhanallah, these are Muslims. The 11th person here we have Thabit ibn Qurra, 826 to 901 Christ era. Field mathematics, astronomy. Contribution, made important translations and original works on number theory, geometry and astronomy. Contributed to the concept of amicable numbers. Subhanallah. The 12th person here we have Al-Farabi, 872 to 950 Christ era. Field philosophy, logic, music and science. Contribution, called the second teacher after Aristotle. Do you know what this means? This man is a Muslim, influenced by the Quran. Subhanallah. Contributed to logic, political philosophy and the theory of music. The 13th person here we have Ibn Nafis, 1213 to 1288 Christ era. Field medicine and anatomy. Contribution, first to describe the preliminary circulation of blood centuries before William Harvey. Subhanallah, subhanallah. And these are people that we reckon with today, but forgetting the fact that Muslims led way before this man called William Harvey. The 14th person here we have Al-Kindi, 801 to 873 Christ era. Field philosophy, mathematics and cryptography. Contribution, known as the philosopher of the Arabs, wrote on optics, medicine, mathematics and introduced crypto-analysis, in other words, frequency analysis. And the last, which is the 15th person here, we have Al-Jazari, 1136 to 1206 Christ era. Field engineering and robotics. Contribution, wrote the book of knowledge of ingenious mechanical devices, designed automata, water clocks and early programmable machines. Remember, these people are Muslims. Like I said, this guy is taking what belongs to Caesar and then giving it to poor. These are the contributions, just a fragment of the contributions of Muslims to the field of science, economics, maths, medicine, biology, astronomy, geography, and other fields of life. So I hope this message gets to this person. Although the tweet itself had been deleted, perhaps someone made him to read something and then he realized that he's only promoting Islam and making people aware of the fact that Islam had taken the lead when it comes to this field of sciences. Subhanallah. So I remain your brother Abdul, and if you love this, make sure to share, like, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel, for we hope to get to 100,000 subscribers before the end of this year. Finally, your support to the channel will highly be appreciated. Catch you in the next one.